Caseus. Clone Wars Chronicles. Part 5. Soldiers. R3 led Click-Clack and the others to the ship as they sprinted on board.
Okay, take us to that tree. Verification code? This is a rescue. Listen here, you rusty lump. Get this ship in the air and get us to that tree, or I'll make sure that bird uses your empty body for a trash bin.
R3 rushed to the control terminal and bypassed the security measures as the ship took to the sky.
Well, that's one way to do it. Hurry, droid. We have to get to the general before that thing eats it for dinner.
As they approached the tree, they could see the large avian creature circling the top over an enormous nest.
Get us to the top. Clack, look.
Click-Clack looked up as a dozen or more of the same creatures flew out of the trees toward the ship.
Look out! Take us down!
Narrowly evading the attacking animals, the ship flew down and by a hair managed to keep from smashing into the hillside.
Out of the way! Give me the controls!
Bottlecap pushed R3 out of the way and took the controls, pulling back and sending the ship going straight up along the massive tree trunk, avoiding limbs and incoming birds.
I'm gonna get you as high as I can. I'll open the ramp. Get out and get the general. I'll keep the birdies off you. Cap, are you sure? No! So get to the general before I change my mind!
Bottlecap flew up as high as he could as more of the flying beasts rushed towards the ship, and from above opened the ramp.
Go!
Scrum and Click-Clack leapt off just as the ramp shut again, and the shuttle flew, bringing the flying creatures after. Click-Clack looked up at the top of the tree.
There should be the nest up there. Let's get to the top then. What's the plan, Clack?
Click-Clack looked over to the tree limbs and started inching his way over.
Easy, Clack. Trust me, I'll be okay.
Inch by inch, not daring to look down, Click-Clack crept further and further to the edge of the limb, to the point where it began to sway slightly back and forth and bend. There was a hanging vine just a foot above. He tried reaching and grabbing it to no avail.
Clack, don't! We'll find another way up!
Click-Clack paid no heed to Scrum's warning as he looked at the position of his feet and crouched before jumping and grabbing the vine as he now hung over a very long fall to the ground below.
Clack! I got it! Come on!
Scrum looked down at his feet as he crept towards Click-Clack.
Easy, Scrum. Don't look down.
Scrum very cautiously kept his eyes on Click-Clack as he drew closer and closer before grabbing his hand and reaching the end of the limb.
Now what? We climb. I'll go first and see what I can find out. If it's clear, I'll give you the signal.
Click-Clack began to climb the vine that crept towards the treetops. Meanwhile, Bottlecap was busy keeping his distance from the pursuing creatures.
Lousy birds! Should cook all of you for dinner. Droid! Where are the guns? Transport craft? How am I supposed to shoot these things in a transport craft?
One of the creatures caught up to the shuttle and grabbed onto the wing as it began pecking its beak into one of the viewport windows.
There! Droid, do something!
Beeping, R3 rolled over to the hatch opening just below the bird's large stomach and used his shock prod to zap the creature as it lost its grip and flew backwards, colliding with a few of the other pursuing avians.
Nice one! Hang on tight!
Click-Clack reached the top of the tree and scrambled forward, looking at a massive nest ahead of him. As he looked around, he saw no sign of any of the flying beasts and turned around to face Scrum below and signaled all clear. Scrum nodded and started making his way up as Click-Clack heard a noise from the nest. It sounded like screeching. Scrum soon reached his brother as they carefully made their way to the nest and climbed inside. There, in the center, was Master Takai, sitting calmly in meditation.
General!
Master Takai opened her eyes and smiled.
Excellent timing, troopers. I was just starting to grow tired of the accommodations here.
Well then, let's get you out of here. You have your comlink?
Master Takai reached to her belt and handed her comlink to Click-Clack, who took it and spoke into it, entering Bottlecap's comm code.
Cap, we found the general. Hurry! I'm in the middle of something! I need a minute! Hurry, Cap. It won't be long before...
As though on cue, the creature that kidnapped Master Takai landed on the edge of the nest in front of them, its black eyes peering through them. Master Takai looked at Click-Clack's belt and grabbed her lightsaber.
Get behind me, boys.
Grabbing 2 heavy sticks from the nest, Click-Clack and Scrum stood back.
Get it, General. Show that feathered freak who's in charge.
Master Takai looked back to Scrum and to the flying beast as she slowly walked towards it. The creature screeched and clicked its razor-sharp talons on the nest. To Click-Clack's surprise, Master Takai reached out her hand towards the bird. It screeched in anger at first, but as the Jedi Master crept closer and closer, so too did the monstrous bird. Very gently, Master Takai placed her hand on the beak of the creature and quietly whispered words to it as it relaxed and let down its guard.
Scrum, you ever seen anything like this? No way.
Master Takai shut off her lightsaber and put it on her belt as she gently pet the creature and turned back to the clones with a smile.
Come on, boys. Bottlecap needs some assistance.
You're not seriously suggesting what I think you are.
Master Takai smiled and leapt on top of the creature's back as it readied itself for flight. With one swift movement, the creature grabbed Scrum and Click-Clack in its clutches as they shouted in fear. Leaping off the perch and into the air, Master Takai held tightly to the creature as they flew downward. In the distance, they could see the shuttle twisting through the canyon passage as the other beasts gave chase. From below, Click-Clack held on for his life and shouted up,
General, what's the plan?
If I'm not mistaken, this is the mother. If we bring her to her children, they'll be drawn away.
Master Takai shouted to the bird as it dove into the canyon and flew faster. They were soon closing in on the shuttle, along with the other beasts, who quickly began to take notice of the mother and broke apart. Master Takai grabbed her comlink.
Bottlecap, get the shuttle to solid ground. You're in the clear.
Radio!
Bottlecap maneuvered the shuttle out of the canyon and onto the grassy plateau above as Master Takai flew the creature upwards to join them. Scrum and Click-Clack were dropped onto the grass with a thud as they ran to the shuttle where Bottlecap emerged. All three brothers embraced and laughed.
We did it! Did you see how I handled that thing? A thing of beauty, I'm telling you. I feel like I can fly anything right now. I could fly one of those fancy Naboo ships or maybe even a whole star cruiser. You should have seen it. Scrum and I had to climb these vines to get to the General, and the height was insane. I'm pretty sure I could see all the way to the other side of the planet. Hell, man, did you see the wings on that thing? I felt like I was getting hauled off by an Iowa. I swear the second we get back, first thing I'm doing is writing about this.
As they all chatted, Master Takai smiled and touched the beak of the creature.
Thank you, friend. Go on now. Tend to your family.
The bird bowed its head and took off to the sky and back to the distant tree. As she turned back, Master Takai saw the three brothers awaiting her, saluting. She smiled.
At ease, troopers.
General, how did you do that? With the, and the bird and the... Yeah, I mean, I would have just blasted the thing.
Master Takai walked to the ramp.
There's a universal language amongst all living beings in the galaxy. That's compassion. There's a time for action, yes. But there is also a time for empathy. As soldiers, you will need to fight to defend the Republic. But when the guns have ceased and the dust settles, set the blaster aside and be a light in the darkness.
The troopers looked at each other and nodded to her.
Now, let's get back to the others.
Yes, General.
On board the Caladan, Caseus paced back and forth as a hologram of Sarah watched him.
You know, walking in a circle isn't going to help. You're just making me dizzy.
I'm worried, okay? She should have been back here by now. I've stalled as long as I can, but we'd be jumping to lightspeed within the hour.
Caseus, relax. After all, she is your master. Trust her. She knows what she's doing.
I do trust her. She better get back here soon or there's going to be hell to pay with Master Windu.
Any word on Corbin?
Not recently. You'll have better range at the temple, though. Try contacting him later and report back to me if you hear anything.
Ooh, look at you talking all official, Commander.
Caseus smiled and blushed a little as he turned to the hologram. It won't be much longer before we're back on Coruscant. I promise.
I know. Be safe, dummy.
Caseus smiled, looking into her eyes. I will. Just as the hologram faded, Captain Kriega approached. Captain, any luck?
No good. Sorry, Commander. We're prepping for lightspeed as we speak. I'm afraid we've run out of time. I'll send back a search party when we arrive and see if we can pick them up. Hold on. This is Kriega. Captain, approaching shuttle. Looks like one of ours. Excellent. Hurry and clear them to land. Yes, sir.
Caseus smiled to Kriega. Come on. As they ran to the hangar, they arrived to see R3 rush to Caseus and bump into his leg.
Oof, easy, R3.
Soon, Master Takai stepped off the ramp with the three brothers.
3 wayward clones, as I promised.
Caseus looked at them.
You three have caused us some serious headaches lately.
I know Captain Krieg has got half a mind to have you all sent back to Camino. The 3 clones looked down and nodded. Caseus looked to his master, who smiled and raised an eyebrow to him.
But it's not like I've been perfect myself.
I'll leave your judgment to Master Takai. The clones saluted as Caseus smiled to his master and bowed before heading to the turbolift.
Captain,
Kriega marched over and saluted.
I think we should discuss where these 3 belong within our ranks.
I don't know. Do you think they're ready?
I do. I've seen more than enough to know that these 3 will excel here if they put their minds to it. Scrum, I feel that you would make a proficient marksman within our infantry. I'll have you speak to Kriega about that later. Click-clack. You've shown great leadership skills and a mind for thinking ahead. I'd like to speak to you later about joining our strategists here in the 303rd. And Bottlecap? I feel you might be right at home inside a starfighter. Talk to Commander Ershawn later and he can walk you through the basics.
All 3 of the brothers beamed and saluted proudly.
Now, head to your quarters and await orders.
Sir, yes, sir!
Click-clack and his brothers quickly started walking back to the barracks when Bottlecap stopped and stared out one of the viewports.
Cap? Guys, I'm sorry. For everything. If it weren't for me... Hey, Cap, don't worry. It's water under the bridge. Besides, look at us. We finally know where we excel. It won't be long. Pretty soon, we'll be full-on members of the 303rd.
Bottlecap smiled as the 3 of them looked out at the stars.
Nothing but bright skies ahead, eh, boys? Smooth sailing. Yeah. Say, do you think the General is single? Shut up, Scrum.